Yeah, so as price sensitivity is also a kind of an experimental approach, especially in the beginning. It's really important that you have a good idea how you can design an experiment. We also discussed it in a previous webinar, but since price sensitivity is a kind of a similar approach, it's really important to have this 5-step approach of how to design an experiment. So we usually start with a good objective, and that objective is often smart and measurable. So it could be, okay, I want to increase a certain percentage in margin, and that's the measurement and the objective we are working with during the experiment. And the second step you take is that we split the data. So if we have the scope of the product of sensitivity defined, we want to split the data into a test and control group. And as I already mentioned earlier, this could be on a product level or channel level or on a customer level. But you want to have an honest and a fair experiment to avoid a situation that if the margin has been increased from the experiment, you want to test that it's not only because of the experiment, but it can also be because of other factors. If you haven't had a good test and control group, it's really hard to have a good benchmark if if it really a consequence and an effect on the experiment, or if it was driven by, for example, an overall margin increase of the market. So that's very important. Step 3 is that make sure it's unbiased. So referring to the example of the platform sensitivity of Otto and Amazon, if you know this already beforehand, it's really biased if you do the same experiment with the same expectations on these two platforms. So if you know it already beforehand, if you know that the Amazon customers are way more price sensitive, then also the expectations should be different, and also the setup of the experiment should be different. Step 4, to find the right timeline. Yeah, within our applications in B2B and B2C, we see that different timelines are applicable for good experiments. So for example, with B2C, going to the Amazon example, you can already see effective results to evaluate an experiment after 1 week. But for B2B, it could take a bit longer. So it could take a quarter or maybe half a year to really evaluate the impact of an experiment. So going to step 5, evaluate the right way. And then actually following the steps we did in the previous steps, what was the objective? Did we achieve this objective in the test group? What was actually the outcome of the control group? What is the difference? Because this is how we can validate and evaluate the effectiveness of the experiment. And we want to learn from products that were behaving according to expectation and from products that were behaving not according to the expectation. And that's where we want to learn from it. And this is also kind of a continuous process because, all the products that didn't behave according to the expectation, maybe we can improve the model with an extra driver, or maybe we have to adjust the weights of the coefficients. So this is the whole process we walk together with you if you are working with price sensitivity.